Hi, it's Michelle with the Prompt Institute, and I'm here to talk about the toy of the month. And this month's toy is something that clinicians, teachers, parents, we all have an abundance of at home and in our offices: construction paper. I myself just went through and cleaned out my cabinet, and I will definitely be using construction paper this whole month to try and whittle down my pile. So some things, materials you need with construction paper: I like to have glue, stick-on glue. It's the least mess that I find. And scissors. I have my own scissors. And then I usually have some little kid scissors that are pretty blunt and normally can't hurt yourself with that. A couple other things I like to be prepared with is I come with my own cutouts. So it's fall while I'm making this activity. So I would have all of my leaves already cut out so we could work on getting that massed practice with our motor speech movements, as opposed to having a child cut that out. Think about it. If I'm thinking about resource allocation and I'm expecting fine motor movement here within your mouth and you have to focus on that, if I'm asking you to cut and talk at the same time, it's going to be very difficult for you. So I want to make sure that you know what your goal is, which is your motor speech movement, and that we're making this as easy and facilitative as possible. And when I work on your motor speech goals, I'm also going to make sure that when I do something like a Christmas craft, because we could make all of this seasonal related, we could make it theme related, that I am going to write your words to work on. And I'm going to write how to accomplish that. So to tell parents about knowledge of performance, knowledge of results goals. I got this information from the prompt product words to work on, but you can just write down your own knowledge of performance. So for example, so if I'm working on lip words with this activity, the words I'm working on here for lip rounding are do, to, more. So we're going do, to, more, and I'm not necessarily worried about the And for parents, we're going to talk, the feedback they're going to give are move your lips, not your jaw. So not ma, but it's going to be more. So just lip muscles are moving and jaw is stabilized. And then parents are going to be saying something like jaw stays still, lips move round only. So depending on the movement that we're trying to establish within that child, that's the feedback that I will give. So let's talk, like I said, we could do theme related, we could relate it to colors, we can relate it to shapes. What's more important is using that phrase or word and repeating that. So we establish that motor movement and create that motor engram, as opposed to the target, if you will, or fringe words, we might say. We want to use the high frequency words that parents can use to distribute throughout their child's daily routine and establish that movement pattern so we could move them up the motor speech hierarchy and create more intelligible speech. So let's talk about some words that we could use for stage 2, phonatory control. We could do something like hand a glue stick, and if it can't be opened, we could work on just for help, so we can ask for help. And then I would put it back on to model so that when it's my turn, that I also have to ask the child for help, so that the child comes and helps me, because we always want to make sure it's interactive when we're taking a turn throughout the activity. Another thing we might do is just put on a little bit of glue. It's not enough glue, so we have to repeat the process and ask for more, more. And then we might do something like put it on, or even for taking the lid off, it might be something like off. And we're going to reinforce that as the word off. So let's talk about stage 3, mandibular control. Some words I could use for stage 3, you could probably think of them on your own. We could do the lid on, off. Take the lid on and off. And now, or we can call it the top on, top, off. And now I can put the glue on top. So I could put the glue on top. And when I put the glue on, I can add a fun word like bam, 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 which might be kind of aggressive. So I want to be, if I want to be a bit more gentle, I might do something like pat, 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 or even tap, tap, tap. And I look at this picture and ask, are you all done? We can do another stage 3 mandibular movement. Done. Great. So that is quick and fast way of how I use construction paper in therapy. There's multiple ways to use it. So I would really appreciate your comments in the comment section, giving us your idea on how you use construction paper in therapy. Okay, thanks. And hope to see your comments soon.